You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Please subscribe to the channel if you're looking for free, informative, entertaining updates every day on the New York Giants. We're going to get into a mailbag on today's show. If we didn't get to your question, it means you're not subscribed because we only take questions from subscribers. As the GOAT, Mike G, comes in with a $50 super chat. Shout out to him. He's a legend on this channel. Just give me some MGs in the chat. He says, what about $50 super chat? Thank you, brother. Seriously, thank you. What about trade down for Brian Thomas Jr.? How is he? So this just popped into my head. As Matt Miller put out an ESPN 7-round mock draft just a couple of days ago, he had Brian Thomas Jr. going number 12 overall. What if the Vikes call you up and say, we'll give you 11 and 23 to get to 6 because they want to take J.J. McCarthy? I am of the belief that I do not want to trade down just because I think that there could be a blue chip prospect on the board at pick number 6, whether that be Marvin Harrison, whether that be Malik Nabers, or whether it be a quarterback. The guy you want is going to be available at 6. And I am emotionally scarred from Dave Gettleman trading out of 11 and passing up on Micah Parsons and passing up on Rashawn Slater to move down to 20 to get to Kadarius Toney and to get a future first-round pick. If there is a blue chip prospect on the board at 6, you take them and you start the celebration in where your team's at. I don't want them to trade down. I don't. No matter how good I think Brian Thomas Jr. is. Just take Odunze or Nabers at 6. Or trade up to 5 and go get Marvin Harrison Jr. if the first 5 picks are all quarterbacks. The Bronx boy! What's up, Bronx? Says, get the best wide receiver at 6, then trade the farm for Prime's kid next year. So I actually like this line of thinking. Draft the best weapon, build up your house, build a really nice garage, and then let's go get that Maserati next year and park it in the garage. I like that. I think the Vikings are in a good spot, like in the sense that they got 2 good receivers. They got 2 good tackles. They have a good offensive line. Giants invested in the offensive line. Now go get number 1 wide receiver. If you don't draft a quarterback this year, go get one next year. Trade the farm for Shedeur Sanders. Supposedly, he's going to dictate where he wants to go like Eli Manning once did. I think Shedeur's really good. I do. I like the way he took care of the football, but I want to see him win some games. And I'll have my eyes on my TV screen every Saturday this upcoming fall watching him in prime trying to get some wins up in Boulder. So I love the idea of getting the best wide receiver at 6, and I love the idea of getting a top quarterback next year. That's just kind of where I'm at on that. The Big Moo says Rome or Nabers, and why? Personally, I love Rome. For me, I have Harrison Jr. 1, Malik Nabers 2, Rome Odunze 3. Reasoning. I think that Nabers is just more electric. I think he's got more pop. And and really it's the yards after catch that separate them for me. 2 different flavors. One's chocolate, one's vanilla. If you're looking for that outside receiver, 6'3", that makes the contested catches, strong hands, can go up and get it, push the ball vertically, that's Odunze. If you're looking for the 6-foot, 200-pound guy that can line up in the slot, line up outside, and do all the things that Odunze can do, as well as take a slant like OBJ and take it to the house, I would go after 42-inch verticals. Crazy. I think Nabers is elite. Some people think he's the best player in this class. I got Nabers too. Reasoning, Big Moo, I think there's more juice in the yards after catch. I believe he can get loose with it once he has the ball in his hands. And I think he's a more dynamic player. I think he stresses out a defensive coordinator more than Rome Odunze. That's my take on that. Gilly! What's up, Gilly? How would you feel about Ald at 6? I'd love it. I would love it. And you guys know that. I love the quote that Jim Harbaugh had. There's one position group in football that doesn't rely on anybody else. It's the O-line. And I believe that if you can build up a good O-line, you can have a good football team. I don't believe in Evan Neal. I don't. I would draft Joe Alt at number 6 because I think that Joe Alt is going to be a Hall of Famer in this league, and I don't toss that around lightly. I think when you talk about the blue chip prospects in this draft. You got Joe Alt, Marvin Harrison Jr. I believe those are the top two outside of quarterbacks. And then I got Malik Nabers right behind them. But, man, I did the same thing with Evan Neal. I thought he was going to be great. Maybe I don't know shit. But if you got Andrew Thomas, you got Joe Alt, hopefully John Michael Schmitz progresses, and you got Runyon and you got Illuminor, that's a top 15 O-line first year, and that's only if all is average. I think he's going to walk in and be great. But I don't see the Giants doing it. I'm not the GM. It's not sexy. It's not some to pop champagne about. I'll do it because I value offensive line play. I don't think the Giants are going to do that, though. Sexy doesn't win championships. It does not. O-line does. O-line does. I would do it, Mike G. You know how I feel about Alt. I've been saying Alt since December. I've just kind of steered away because I've heard that they are not going to do it. But if they do, the I told you so's and the champagne, it's going to be popped on this channel. Who do you want to draft? Let me know down in the comments. More questions coming up around the corner. But first, I got to tell you guys about our proud sponsor, PrizePicks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use that promo code CLNS, and PrizePicks will match your first deposit up to $100. PrizePicks is the #1 daily fantasy sports app in North America. It's the best time to play as March Madness is heating up and the NBA playoffs are right around the corner. All you do is pick more or pick less on players' projected stats. The more players you have on your lineup, the higher your multiplier and payout will be. It's daily fantasy sports made easy. It's easy and exciting. Pick more, pick less, play PrizePicks. I love PrizePicks because it makes games that you're not even interested in more fun and entertaining to watch. You'll find yourself yelling at the TV, hoping that your players' stat totals will cash, whether you select more or less. It's daily fantasy sports made easy. It's fun. Check them out. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Promo code CLNS. The Red Formula. What's up, man? Appreciate the $20 super chat. Jones is an average at best QB who will not win us a Super Bowl. We know what he is and isn't. It's painfully obvious that Shane and Daves want to move on and don't see him in the future. But our own fans are too naive to see that. Agreed. I agree, brother. I don't believe in him anymore. I want to potentially have a top 10 QB on my team. A potential top 5 QB on my team. I don't think that that's him. We are on the same page there. Yeah, they want to move on. But they gave him a deal. So they can't. And they should be criticized for that. Even if I said it was a decent deal at the time. That's why they get paid the big bucks. Daniel Jones, he got paid big bucks. Didn't deserve it. Johnson Yu coming in with a $10 super chat. What happens if there's no good QBs left after the first round? Williams, May, Daniels, Nixon, Penix. Do you not think trotting out DJ would get Shane and Daboll fired? Can't watch another season of number 8. I think Joe Shane is your GM next year no matter what. I don't see, after 3 seasons, the Giants moving off of Joe Shane after one of those years he won a playoff game. Brian Daboll, that's a different story. If this team doesn't show growth, if he can't show that he learned from his mishaps in year 2, he might just be gone. But I think the GM gets a little bit longer of a leash. And I don't think it's fair for John Mara to put pressure on him saying we have to get our QB this year and then expedite the rebuild. You tried that last year. You traded a future pick for a 30-plus-year-old tight end. It didn't work. So if a QB's not there, that's fine. Let Drew Lock play. He's going to be better, and he'll show everybody that. No, I don't think trotting out Daniel Jones will get them fired, but I do think that it will be a really tough season if he is the quarterback. But really, maybe you just take your medicine. It might be a tough season no matter what. It's a really good question. I wish I had a better answer for you. But I think the GM is safe, and I think Daboll just has to show that he learned from his mistakes and he'll be back next year. I think they're in for the long haul. I think Mara knows that after he fired, the last 3 coaches after 2 years. And he gave Dave Gettleman a whole lot longer. He never won a playoff game, and he gave Jerry Reese even years after the Super Bowls a long time. Great question, though, brother. Bam, bam! I think it's safe to say Trevor Lawrence is a franchise QB. I saw a comparison saying why you can't do that. That's why you can't do that. Also, take out the year with Urban Meyer, and the stats aren't even close. Stats aren't even close. There's not a single GM in the world that would take Daniel Jones over Trevor Lawrence. It's not even close. And also, I don't get the T-Law hate. I think he's going to be a good quarterback in this league for a long time. I trust my eyes. I think he does everything well. Is he still young and needs to get better? Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I saw a comparison saying D numbers are better. With better O-line, playoff, do we make the playoffs? You got a shot. Your O-line plays better, and Daniel Jones has the best year of his career. Yeah, you got a shot at the playoffs. I'm wishing on a star right there. Mike G! What's up, MG? Build more good players and get Arch Manning whenever he comes. If his last name was Johnson, would we want him? Can we watch him play football in college? I get it. I get it. The Manning storyline, I get it. But can we just watch him do something in college before I want to draft him? But it's fun. No, he cannot wear 10. He cannot wear 10. Mike G. I'm not killing your dreams. I just want to see him play. Because I saw people like me, my size and weight, being the D lineman he went up against in private school, Louisiana. I just want to see him play. He plays good. I'll be pushing that agenda because I want a good quarterback. But let's see him play. But yes, build more. Crazy thought here. Usually the team with the best players wins. Giants need more best players. Make sure you guys are following me over on social media at @MarshallGreen_ as well as at @MarshallGreen_ on Instagram. Hit me up over there, and let's go Big Blue.